We're making money. Morning, Junkyard. Oh. Ron, good morning. For a minute, I thought I was going to have to sing that song. I stream alone. Yeah, all by myself. Whenever I stream alone, I prefer to be by myself. You never woke it up. Did you get up going like this? Making sure you still had the pulse? You must have been tuckered. I, on the other hand, got up at 1:50. I had to go to the little boy's room. And then at 4 o'clock in the morning, the kitty cat decided she needed my attention. That's about three. Uh, she needed my attention, so she jumped up on top of me, and she hasn't seen me all since Friday. She has not come in the bedroom to sleep with me because Gretchen's there. Well, she needed my attention, and she would not stop till I woke up. Come out here to find out she was out of victuals, and that's what she needed to tell me, that she was out of victuals. So I got her some victuals and give her some more water. Went to the bathroom, went back in the bedroom to go back to sleep, and sat there for a half an hour, 45 minutes. And said to heck with it and come back out here because I could not go back to sleep. Now I'm tired. It's time for a nappy. And I should be entitled to one because she's taking a nap now. Uh, I have another video coming out today around 9 o'clock in the morning. I think it's a pretty good tie. I think it's a tie between them. But I think each one of them said, "Hey, I'm the dumbest," and the other one said, "Hold my beer." You got an ad coming up in 50 seconds. Yeah, you think I'm right? Yeah, yeah. Anyways, I took the scooter for a ride yesterday, and I wish I'd have had my phone with me, because I'd have done a video. Guy screaming at the top of his lungs at his girlfriend. and he's yelling at her, calling her names, and she's walking away from him, and he's telling her to stop, stop. I mean, this guy's screaming so loud. He's a block and a half away from me, and I can hear him. So I'm sitting there because they're walking towards me, and I'm waiting to see if this guy's going to hit her or not. I'm not going, I'm not in the best of shape, but I'm not going to let somebody hit a woman. So, yeah, I'm going to buy one of them electric cars. So, anyways, he's still screaming at her, and she's telling him to leave her alone, and he's following her, yelling at her, and they walk by me, and I look at him, and he doesn't look at me because he knows he's being an ass, It goes around the corner, and they cross the street, and there's construction guys there, and he's screaming at her and hollering at her, and he's still following her, and she's yelling, "Leave me alone! Quit following me!" Well, I turn the corner, and I start following him on the other side of the street because I want to make sure she's not getting hurt. And I follow probably for another 150 feet or so, and they come to the roundabout, and she's yelling, "Leave me alone," and he grabs her by both arms. So they're on the other side of the street. So I called 911 and said, "Hey, man, there's this guy been screaming at this girl, following her, and he just finally grabbed a hold of her at the roundabout. She jerked away from him, and now she's trying to get away from him." And yeah. So the 911 operator said, "You're not the first one to call. We've gotten several other calls. Can you describe him?" So I did. He's wearing a white beater, blue shorts, and white tennis shoes. And she was wearing a white top or blue top with green shorts on. And I said, "Well, they're walking south on Division Street right now." She said, we got a police cruiser on the way right now." So I don't know what happened to him, but if I was the cops, I would have asked the woman at any time, "Did you tell him to quit following you?" And when she said yes, I'd have had his ass arrested for stalking. Ironside, that's right. I'm Patrol Live, yeah. Anyways, I come back around, and there's these two guys sitting in a van, and they said, "Some of the shit you see in this town." I said, "Yeah." I said, "These people don't have any morals or any, truth or whatever." And the guy looks at me and says, "Yeah, he's probably an effing Democrat." I said, "Yeah, damn Democrat." So, um, anyways, I went back around the block, and there's these two painters sitting there. And they said, did you follow that guy?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I called 911. They said they already had a bunch of calls on him." And one painter was sitting there, and he said, "Now, I heard him yelling, but if he'd have hit her, while I was standing, I'd have decked him." I said, "Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking, the same thing. If he'd have hit her, I'd have got him too. But, he didn't actually hit her, but he did grab her on the other side of the street." I don't know if he had a white tail or not. Well, the guy had, like a 1/4 inch long haircut. And he had a handkerchief tied around his neck, which, would have been the first thing I'd have grabbed. be surprised what you can do once you put your hands around something like that and you start twisting. I was I was in a bar one time in the LA Cafe, and I bounced for a few months at the Teepee Town. And I was at the LA Cafe, and their bouncer was there, and this kid was a kid. Um, he was 18 years old. He's old enough to be in the bar to work, but he's not old enough to serve drinks or anything like that. 18 years old, and he's a bouncer. The kid's like 6'7" or something like that. You know, he's huge. And I asked him. I said, how old are you? I'm 18. I said, I'll give you a little bit of advice. I said, if I was going to fight you, first thing I'd do is I'd grab that tie you got on and I'd start twisting that, and you'd be out of here in a matter of no time. He said, well, they tell us to wear a tie. I said, wear a tie, but wear a clip-on. Don't wear a tie, one that you have to tie. That's the best way to lose all your faculties right away. Yeah, and wear a cup too. You're right. Yeah. You know, in all honesty, that's probably a good idea. Um, I've been kicked there several times, and in the heat of the moment, um, if you're that intense or into it, you don't even feel that. You know, that's one of your least of your worries is that right there. Dying is your first worry. But somebody can come up and go like this to you, and that'll put you on your kneecaps if you're not expecting it. Uh, unless you're Kevin, a peanut shell on a rubber band. Uh, so, anyways, getting back to the scooter, I come home with the scooter, come in, got me a big old pail of water and a washcloth. Maybe she liked it. Yeah, yeah. Uh, and I washed the scooter off, and I took a bunch of pictures of it, put it up for sale. I'm going to sell it uh, on Facebook Marketplace. Hopefully, I can sell it. And buy me something different. Buy me a new toy. Anything? No? Give me that money, there you go. Ouch. So when does your sister want her photo order back? I mean, because I would, uh, I would drive it back and forth to town. It's probably cheaper on gas than the old pick 'em up truck. And you ain't putting wear and tear on your vehicle. You gotta be a thinker. You can always disconnect the odometer. Tell her it's not finished yet. You'll have it probably done by Christmas. You know? Oh yeah. Did you tell her you kind of want it too? I mean, you gotta look out for number one there, junkyard. Let's see. You're right, not that many. I seen that yesterday. Oh man, that is actually pretty cool. It's got a Fiat 500 in it. It's from a Fiat 500. It's a rear engine, and they made it chain drive. Instead of the transaxle, they put sprockets on it to make it chain drive. I thought it was pretty cool. Hold on. It's a little homemade cart or car, if you want to say that. It's got a Fiat 500 rear engine in it with a 3-speed transmission. And if you don't know this is what the Fiat 500 looks like. Now I got an ad coming up in just a second. After the ad, I'll show it to you. I did hit it with an ugly stick, but it's so damn ugly, it's cute. I think it looks better than the car itself. Hello, JCT. Yeah, the front windshield's missing. Yeah. I know, I know. Anyways, it needs a clutch. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a job in itself to put a clutch in it. But maybe not, because everything's right there. You can probably just take a few bolts out and just pick the engine up out of there and put a new clutch in her and put her back down in it. But yeah, 63 degrees and sunny. It didn't have a price on it. I messaged him, asked him what he had to have for it. He said, "Give me a call. We'll work out something." Yeah. So I'm thinking he might just want to get rid of the damn thing. I'll tell you what it says. Keith, if you'd be okay with it, why don't you just give me a call and we'll come up with something that'll work for both of us? Oh, yeah. So I'm pretty sure he just wants to get rid of it. Or for, little to no money. I might be able to trade him a handy dandy Troy built rototiller for it, Come on, Pumpkin, get up here. Whoa! Ah! Oh my goodness. Come here. Come on. Get up here. Come on. Oh Lord. I think I'm dying. Ooh. You like that trail ride? That's pretty cool. I got a cemetery ride coming out today. She went to climb on me and she fell off in her cat kennel, and natural instincts was to dig in all them claws. And oh my, I know what mass acupuncture feels like right now. I can't be mad at her because I know she didn't mean it. Come on, get up here. Come on, come on. Come on, Pumpkin. Come on, get up here. No, wasn't ghost hunting. It's actually a beautiful cemetery. It's all paved roads and everything. 122, I think it's 122 acres. Or 120 acres. Come here. No, I will help you up this time. There. There we go. Yeah. I know you didn't mean it. You're a pretty girl. Yes, you are. Yeah, it's an all-weather trail machine. You're right. Put a window in it. If worse come down to worse and you got to have heat in it, you can buy one of them diesel heaters and mount that in the back. weather's pretty good, huh? Yes, oh. We don't do that. We don't do that. Shots, everybody, shots. Shots, everybody, shots. Shots, everybody, shots. It's Spy Shot Thursday. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about a hurricane yet. That's a pretty baby. Yes, it is. I love you too, Kevin. I wish I had it this rough. I do. I wish I did. I wish I had it that rough. She's sitting there wagging her tail. What do you need, scratch candy here? Is that what you want? There you go. Where was that at in Pennsylvania? We haven't we haven't really had any severe tornadoes here in years. I mean, we've had a couple, but we had one that touched down in Devil's Lake, and it was like a water spout, or whatever you want to call it, whatever those are. When it come on shore, because it just had millions of gallons of water with it, and as soon as it hit the shore, um, it lost most of the water right there. It flooded out a bunch of houses and stuff. The Patty Hearst cabin, huh? That the sick cabin she was kidnapped from, allegedly. I remember that story. Excuse me, story. Yeah. What are you doing? Does that feel good? You like that? No? Yeah. Yeah, the bank or something. She was the only bank robber that didn't have a face mask on, right? Remember that? All the other ones had a face mask, and her gun didn't have any bullets in it, according to what she said. I believe she's just trying to make her dad look bad. Abe Lincoln? Does that feel good? Huh? You like that? Oh, she says, I do, Papa. Yeah. Poor cat. I mean, she's more spoiled than anything I've ever seen. We left and come home last night, and she was meowing, and Kathy said, "What's the matter, Pumpkin? Did you miss me?" And she did, meow, meow. There you go. Well, I think Patty Hearst would be, I don't know if she's even still alive or not, but she would be like 75 or something like that, almost 80. Hey, if I remember correctly. Um, um, 71, born in February 20, 1954. I had to go a long ways to get there. Uh, for some damn reason, every time Microsoft does an update, it changes my default browser or my search engine to Yahoo. And I keep changing it and I keep deleting Yahoo. And I go back to Google and it'll have Yahoo and I delete it. And I still get it. Now, um, Damn, you got another ad coming up. If you've seen the Avatar, I wish I'd have realized that before I went hiking. I didn't know. They should have put a warning on that. You know what? I think it'd be better off if good morning there, Arizona. Nice to see you. That little car that I was showing you. If you pulled that little Fiat engine out of there in that transmission, and you put 272-volt electric motors in there with direct drive and forward and reverse, I think that would probably be the cat's ass. Excuse my language. Well, you can air chill your chickens if you want. Yeah, check that. I haven't bought anything off that Flash Food since Saturday because I really don't need any more beef. I'm looking for pork and chicken. And I've got a freezer and a half full of beef right now. Yeah. No, they haven't added nothing yet. Well, you could have air grilled it here last week. It was so damn hot. Just put it on a stick and let the wind blow by it. It'd have seared it on both sides. Yeah. Well, when they say air chilled, what they do is they put them in a freezer or a refrigerator on a tray with no cover on them until they get the same temperature as the room that they're in, per se, the big freezer, the cooler, or the freezer. And once they get that temperature, then they package it. I'm not just another pretty face, you know. Yeah. Reading Dr. Strong point today? Yeah. Well, here. Here you go. There you go. Now can you see it? Yeah, the water still gets soggy. The orange man's bringing them stability. I think the orange man's been the best thing in this country's needed since sliced bread. What did they say yesterday? Something like $3.7 trillion worth of um, infrastructure, or not infrastructure, but new factories are coming into the United States from other countries. That means more jobs. It means you shouldn't be able to sit on the couch. You should be able to get a job here shortly. And with more factories working, or more people working in factories, more tax money to be spent on roads instead of filling politicians' pockets. Get the infrastructure done. We got 40-some thousand bridges that need to be redone. Yeah, we ruined our economy because when it first started out, they only had a couple. Now there's like 15 in this town. Well, you got 15 people selling dope to everybody, and it used to be, I don't know, $40 or $80, $100 an ounce or whatever. I don't know what it went for, but it's cheaper than hell now because everybody's competition, and now the tax money is dropping. So Boulder, Colorado tried to tell everybody what was going to happen, and nobody wanted to listen because Boulder was the very first one that legalized marijuana. And you think that President Trump wants to legalize it too. They're looking into legalizing it federally. And if they legalize it federally, um, the price is probably going to drop dramatically because everybody and their brother will be able to have it, get it, sell it, or whatever. Right now, as it stands, if you have a dispensary here, these dispensaries, they can't even put their money in the bank because the federal government will not insure their money. With the FDIC, will not insure their money in the banks because the federal government does not, um, how can I put it? They do not recognize uh, marijuana dispensaries as a legal operation. You ain't been home for a while? Well, when you get there, you can sing Ozzy. Mama, I'm coming home, home, home. I'm coming home. Um, yeah, you can't even get a federal loan for it, out of a bank. So when these guys start this up, they start it up because they have money. It's the rich people that are starting these all up. They have millions and millions and millions of dollars. They pull their money out of the bank, start these businesses up, and then they have to keep putting the money that they make, they have to put into, like other business ventures or something else because they can't invest. They can't put it in the bank. And I didn't know that till like 3 or 4 weeks ago when they were talking about it on the news that that they had to they couldn't they couldn't save their money in the in the bank. They don't even have checking accounts or savings accounts. Most of their people get paid cash with a 1099. Yeah, put it in a PVC pipe and bury it. Which that would be a nice problem to have. That you could pay for cash for everything. You didn't have to worry about going to the bank or anything like that because it's all cash. And I don't know how they buy it or how people buy it, but I don't think they take credit cards either or debit cards or anything like that. It's all got to be cash. Right. I have no problem with medical marijuana. It's the recreational that I have a problem with. People say, "Oh, recreational marijuana doesn't hurt nobody." The first day that they approved recreational marijuana, it went into effect like 6 o'clock or midnight at night or 6 o'clock in the morning, something like that. But the very first day, some guy come out of his driveway so stoned he T-boned a state trooper as he was driving by. Never stopped at the end of his driveway, and they did. They got him for being intoxicated, under the influence of marijuana. First damn day. So people say, "Oh, nobody ever gets hurt." Well, but plenty of people get hurt. Plenty of people get killed by the effects of marijuana. It's just not put on statistics because it's hard to prove. Oh, there's a bunch of Floridians that smoke that dope. I'm not pumpkin. She's out here for her 19th feeding. She'll take 3 or 4 bites and then she'll walk away and come back 5 minutes later, take 3 or 4 more bites. And then when she's got like 5 or 6, kernels in there, or whatever you want to call it, kibbles in there, she'll let you know she's out of cat food. She will constantly bother you until you get her some. Now Gretchen got her for her birthday, got her a can of turkey and gravy. She ate the gravy and left the turkey. She didn't like it. Kathy gave her a can of tuna fish 2 days before that, and the first thing she does is she drinks all the broth out of it, and then she'll come back and she'll eat the tuna fish later. It does bring all sorts of criminal activity. is people want the dope, okay, the marijuana, and they don't have money for it, so they, steal to get it, or rob to get it, or whatever. Same way with, any other drug. If they ain't got the money to get it, they'll find the money to get it somehow. And most generally, it ain't by working. I tell you on the corner, walk and don't walk. You're from where? Okay. And where's your dad's blood at? Okay, a different tribe. Okay. Well, I didn't know it, but I guess Kamala Harris is part Indian. I did not know this until the other day. She's from the Imaho tribe. I didn't know that. And Elizabeth Warren, she got bit by a mosquito, and it took every last drop of her Indian blood right out of her. So she's no longer Indian. All right, everybody, it's time for me to get out of here. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Take care. Prayers and peace. And we will see you tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard if you're so inclined to join me. Have a blessed day, everybody, and take care.